Live. All right. Hey, welcome in, everyone. It's great to see everyone here. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Anyone here who's here for the first time, be sure to say something in the chat, and we'll pull a card for you. We'll make sure you get a reading in the show. So, yeah. First off, the title for the show this evening is "Do You Live on Baker Street?" And it came up, we got to talking about Sherlock Holmes and how he solves his process of solving a mystery is to become fully aware of the situation and every possibility of what could have happened and eliminate the impossibilities, right? Well, that awareness and that process is an act of transmutation. He's uncovering the truth to something. He's able to see what other people aren't with this increased level of awareness. Now it's something that he's trained for his entire life, right? Like he's able to smell these pile of ashes and determine, oh well, that came from a Marlboro brand cigarette, right? A Marlboro Red specifically. Well, that those skills, we all have those. I love, there's a Sadhguru quote I talked that talks about how we're all geniuses, but only a tiny, tiny, maybe 1% of us ever get to access those genius capabilities because we're not calm enough to get there, to be able to let those out. We're all in this state of rush, 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 where it's impossible to access those higher levels of consciousness. Now, I'm going to make this quick here, but every single moment we get to make a decision. And moment to moment, we get to decide what we're paying attention to, where we're paying attention, who we're paying attention to, how we're paying attention to that, or whoever that is. And we get to decide whether we're receptive or active in that, right? And we also get to decide how much energy we're giving something, and whether we allow other people or situations to control our energy, or if we have control over our energy. And one quick little practice I wanted to share with you before I turn the show over to my favorite person on the planet, Christopher Laprath, is just a quick zoom out. So remembering it can be tricky, but I started to talk about last night the technique of just pausing. Doing that pause, just practicing it in moments of regular calmness is a good trick to build up the skill and the habit of pausing. And the more we do this, the better, again, you get at it. So just pause all the time, and in that pause, you can also zoom out. And I like to think of it as like a galactic level of awareness, right? Where you can kind of perceive in all of your senses just the bigness of the universe we live in and how magnificent it all is. And it really makes any kind of day-to-day life occurrence, drama, very insignificant. So, yeah, with that, I love you all. Thank you for being here. And here's my dad, Christopher Laprath.
Hey, thanks so much, Ken, and welcome everybody. Thanks for being here so much. So, that theme, do you live on Baker Street? I'm not going to talk about Sherlock Holmes. We all know his gifts and his gifts of awareness. I wanted to talk more about Watson, because many of us, most of us are Watsons, and that are developing these levels of awareness. And Watson, in hanging out with Holmes, began to notice things, began to pay attention, began to evolve. And so that's what we're here for. That is what the show is about, to expand and raise consciousness. So thank you for being here. A couple of things that will help. We all know about vision, right? And how sometimes when police officers interview people that have witnessed a crime, different people have different views because they've seen different things, or they haven't seen different things. So it's a matter of paying attention and developing. And there's actually some games you can do. Rudyard Kipling wrote a book called Kim, and it was about a young man who was studying to be a secret agent. And it's still played, this game is still played among the Boy Scouts of America and the Secret Service. It's called Kim's Game. And you put, or have somebody put, I don't know, 24 things, 24 things in a box. Look at the box for a minute. Cover the box. Write down how many things you can remember. It's called Kim's Game, but it helps to build the visual awareness. Now, here's something interesting. Our hearing is 20 to 100 times faster than our vision. So, hearing, when you think about being able to pick out a crash or a honk or a sound, we react immediately to it. Okay? Humans, now this is really interesting. Humans can detect 1 trillion scents. Okay? We're maybe not as good as a dog, but humans' ability is nothing to sniff at. Okay? They've actually proven that humans can track other animals or even other humans. Believe it or not, we have that ability. And because the smell connects directly to the brain more so than all of the other senses. Okay? And we've talked about this on the show before, where smell goes and has an effect on our emotions and our long-term memory. So if you're watching the show, please, if you're having problems with or issues or situations with depression or sadness or confusion or frustration, just go to your cupboard. I'm not asking you to go spend $1,000 on essential oils. You can go to your cupboard and smell cinnamon or a bay leaf. Anything will help snap you out of that emotion or that memory. Move you on. That's the power of smell. And those are just a few of the examples I wanted to share tonight before I got into your reading, which is what this show is all about. But increasing our awareness helps us through major transitions. So I wanted to give you kudos because for you to be on the show, and for many of you that have been on the show for almost a year now, 4 nights a week, that's 3 to 4 hours where you're really working on your awareness. And I'd love to have some feedback as to how you've grown, your awareness has changed, to be aware of your awareness, because that will help through these major transitions. So that moves us into the group card for tonight. And there's synchronicity in the universe. So can we... Oh, you pulled up the group card already. Yeah. Thank you, Kenan. Kenan's my producer. I also wanted to give a great shout out real quick to the Fleece Agency and to Brick Road Coffee. They sponsor the show. Fleece Agency is an amazing branding and marketing company, and Brick Road Coffee is an amazing coffee shop here in Tempe. But the group card tonight is the Emerald Tablet, or the Emerald Tablet Activation. This card is about remembering the gifts that you have had from previous lifetimes, or the gifts that are unfolding now within this lifetime. Now, you may not yet know how to express them yet, but be aware. This is all about awareness, being the Watson, or maybe even being the Sherlock Holmes, right? moving your place to Baker Street. This is about knowing that you have really great power within. So the point of the Emerald Tablet, it's thousands of years old. One of the main things that the Emerald Tablet talks about is as above, so below, or so below, as above. Microcosm, macrocosm. So this is about, again, focusing on you and connecting to the source. This is the secret of the Emerald Tablet, is the answers are not all out there. You connect in here first. And then with that, you connect with source. So when you look at the stars, there's great power. There's great depth. It's awe-inspiring. As above, so below. You are awe-inspiring. That is as above, so below. So as you look out and as you expand, know that that's occurring within. And know that just as marvelous as the universe is, or the sky, or the stars, or the sun, the moon, that's what you're made of. You're made of those particles. And have as much awe in who you are as you do in things that are out there. Okay? Because all those thoughts that you send are sent to source, which help you with your evolution, with your growth here on this planet. Group card tonight, thank you so much. Okay, who's on first?
Awesome. Do you want to light the incense?
Oh, thank you. We got to light the incense. We always start the show with lighting the incense. I just got excited. Kenan and I, we got to talking about this topic, and we got really kind of excited about it. And you can actually Google the Emerald Tablet to read more about it. But this incense, again, comes from Tibet and Bhutan. It helps to clear any negative energy. So I'm sending you lots of clearing, lots of blessings, so that you have that awareness. And awareness grows for you. Okay, who's first?
It's Laurel tonight.
Hey, Laurel. I think, Laurel, this is the first time you've been on first. So if you're just joining us for the show, what we do is we shuffle through the deck, and whatever card falls out is, I believe, your guides have picked that card for you particularly. Okay. You're going to love this, Laurel. The synchronicity of everything, right? It's called the Ace of Swords, which is cognition. It's awareness. It's using your mind and then blessing your mind. So, you know how some people go, they'll drop a glass and they go, oh, that was just such an idiot thing to do. No. Look at, oh, why did I drop the glass? And you could even look it up. What does it mean when a glass shatters? It's actually more expansion for yourself. Things are changing for you. My point of that is that give yourself some credit for how far you've come and what you're contributing to this earth in a cognitive sense. You have an ability, we're all left brain trained, but through your stories, you help people connect to the divine, to their source. So work on writing some of your stories down. And you know what? It can be songs. It doesn't have to be in a journal. It doesn't have to be in a book. It can be in your music and in your songs. And the emotions, because hearing, as we talked about before, is 20 to 100 times faster than your vision. So when people hear your music, when they hear you sing, you are communicating to them like a sword, and a sword can be used for offense and defense. So you're helping people through your words, through your music, through your writing. You're helping them either help defend themselves or to cut through the crap that no longer serves them to their best and highest. Okay.
Nice. So it's Old Dog next.
Old Dog.
Yeah,
Okay. Hey, Dan. So, Dan, this is called the Tower card. It's the demolition. This is having eaten bad food and then eliminating it, throwing it up, like food poisoning. In this period of growth, a lot of people think enlightenment is just wonderful and airy-fairy and just easy and just smooth. It is not that at all. It brings up stuff, and as it brings up stuff, sometimes your stomach is churning and you can be violently ill. These emotions that no longer serve you, or maybe that served you at one time but no longer serve you now, come up. This is the Tower card. This is the demolition. This is letting go of what you no longer need. But using those emotions, like Kenan was talking at the beginning of the show, using those emotions as a gauge to go, wait a minute, how can I zoom out? Okay? Because the tower or the house that I live in or lived in no longer serves me. I want to build a new house. So you've got to tear down the old house. Okay? Even through the foundation. Rebuild everything. This is rebuilding. Please be free of getting frustrated. When you're going through this transition, it can be very, very frustrating. And this is a good thing because it's building something new. Okay? When I would go through these things, I would actually use that sense of smell. I would use essential oils. I would go to the cabinet. I would smell cinnamon. It would snap me out of this trip that I was in mentally and emotionally. So those are some things we can do. And you know what? Call a friend. Talk to them. Okay, who's next?
Nice. Yeah. So next is going to be Abby Maryland. Lindsay, sorry.
Hey, Lindsay.
Lindsay
Okay.
and Abby Maryland.
So, Lindsay, water is really important for you. You know what? Go get some bubble bath. Give yourself a candlelight bubble bath. This card is luxury. Go buy. Here in Phoenix, we have what we call Nordstrom's Rack. Name brand things, but you can get them for quite inexpensive. But go splurge on yourself. Okay? Go. Kenan went out today and he bought pants. Okay? At Vans. At the discounts store, but they're like $100 pants. Go splurge on yourself. I don't mean you have to spend a lot of money, but go do something that makes you feel good about you. Okay, go splurge, because that is that communication with yourself. And you want to increase that communication with yourself, because when we get down or when we get bummed out or depressed, we can think that's us. That's just a tiny portion of an event that we're going through at one time. So honor when you buy something for yourself, as above so below, you're honoring that which is within you that is valuable. So think of it that way. Okay? Yeah, retail therapy. That's perfect. I love it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, so next is Abby, Maryland.
Okay, Abby. And you can go see Abby in Maryland, Lindsay. They live in South Carolina, right on the ocean. So Abby gets to go there every day. Okay. So Abby, this is the 2 card, Kenan. So if you have something to throw in around the number 2 or what it means to you, but this is the happiness card, Abby. So thank you for being here. Because in sharing this, Abby, it's like with all of us, when I pull a card for you individually, like I did for Dan, Lindsay, the main message is for you, but it's also for all of us. Are you willing to deserve complete happiness? Oh my gosh, your birthday's on the 2nd. I knew there was something with the number 2. That is so funny. I love it. Thank you, Abby. This is your happiness now. And the more you are happy, you exude an energetic field. And even I here 2,000-3,000 miles away can check into that field and know that you're happy. Okay? So never underestimate or be free of underestimating the ability of your happiness to affect people thousands of miles away. This is your so plan something around the month of June. Just even if it's a day or two for yourself in Maryland to get away or to just enjoy think about this, because you have a few months, 4 months or so to think about this. But there's something coming up in June that's really even going to escalate that happiness. Okay, Marilyn. Wait for it, Marilyn. Wait. Just wait. This is the restraint card. Okay? And there's great alchemy in restraint. Alchemy is like sorcery. Alchemy is magic. It's the blending together. And are you willing to let go of trying to force, in any way, shape, or form, a square peg into a round hole? Allow the universe to work things out for you and only compliment yourself. This is one of the most challenging things, is we want to jump in and either help people, rescue people, change situations. Sometimes just wait. Just wait. A day, an hour. Don't respond if there's an email that comes that is upsetting, if there's a phone call that comes, a message. If somebody calls and you just have a feeling not to pick it up, don't pick it up. Wait. You can call them back. They can leave a message. Okay? All right. Who's next?
Yeah, Austin's next.
Okay, Austin. I love that you guys have been here for so many months. It's been almost a year now, which is, I'm so grateful. I'm so, so grateful. Father of Cups. It's called fatherhood, Austin. No one is ready for fatherhood. No one can prepare for every life situation. You can't, there's no doctoral degree in fatherhood. There's no master's degree in dealing with people. Spirit is giving you some kudos for how far you've come, but can you be a little easier on yourself when it comes to, I should be doing this, I could be doing this, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. If there's any of that, can you flush that? And have a really, really good sewer system so it doesn't back up. Okay? You are not your father. You are absolutely not your father. You've moved way beyond them, way beyond your parents. So kudos for that. Anywhere where any of us have adapted to or adopted belief systems that, oh, you know, we just become our fathers, we just become our mothers. Okay, cancel, clear, delete that one big time. All right. Thanks, Austin, for pulling that card. Okay.
Very good. Geo and Cat.
Okay, Geo. Hey, Cat. So, Geo, who controls your emotions? Who controls your emotions? Do your kids control your emotions? Do other people control your emotions? No. You control your emotions. You might want to carry around literally like a bottle of lavender or a bottle of rose or a bottle, something that will help you be aware that you're picking up other people's emotions and they're not yours. They're not your emotions. Especially as a doctor. Oh, okay. So there, you're working. This, okay, I'm really glad you got this. Has to do with fear. When people come in, they're dealing with fear to you as a doctor. So have invest in selenite around your office. Give them, you can order them on Amazon, these little nice polished little stones of selenite that they can hold. And just tell them you can put all the fear in that thing. This will take all the fear away. This is going to be fine. And that will help protect you as well, because you're so sensitive when it comes to that. And I highly recommend, Kenan makes bracelets. I highly recommend selenite, a selenite bracelet, selenite necklace, anything to do with selenite, Selenite. Okay, Kat. Okay, so the universe is stranger than we can think. So, Kat, when I was being raised in Idaho, in this haunted house, I was 4, 5, 6 years old. And I could feel entities before I saw them. Trust that. Really trust your gut. This is the mystery card. It's the Mother of Swords. Because your ability is growing to cut through any of this negative energy and to send these entities that come in or around your property, or that you are walking down the street, to move them on. Oh. Wherever it is that you're working, clean that place up too. Along with Jared, like take some selenite. Jared's place is okay. There's something historical that happened around the area that you're working, or around the area that you go a lot. I might have to call you on this one, but there's something with the energy around it that, be aware of where that energy is coming from and that it's not yours. Whew. Okay, and it's around the place you work.
Very good. So next is Doreen.
Thank you. Kat, I'm not even sure what you do. I have to go back to Kat, I'm sorry. But for me, I cannot, if you're in the hospital, I've told you this before, if anyone's in the hospital, I'll send you flowers. I probably won't go see you. Okay?
She says the main battlefield in the area is less than a mile from where she works.
Okay. Thank you, Kat. So the main battlefield in the area is less than a mile from the hospital. Oh my God, you work at a hospital. Okay, all right. That's what I'm picking up. So years ago, I went to one of the hospitals here in Phoenix, and they were doing construction. So the intern said, "Oh, you know what? Don't go through here. I'll take you the back way." We were going to go see somebody, and they took us to kind of in the basement of this hospital and down the back. And I smelled fire. I smelled smoke. I could see the burn victims. And I go, "Oh God, there was a fire here." He goes, "Yeah, 100 years ago." So put on some extra protection for you, Kat, and you can send these spirits on. One of my clients was a security guard for the Children's Hospital here in Phoenix, and one night the cleaning man came out from behind the door, threw his mop down, said, "I am out of here. I will never come back here." And they go, "Well, what happened?" He said, I was mopping the floor, and there was a little girl standing in the hallway, and he goes, "Oh, honey, you need to go back to your room. You shouldn't be up. I'll call a nurse." And the little girl looked at him and walked through the wall. So this is a blessing actually for you, Kat, where you can move these spirits on. That's why it came up. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So Doreen?
Hey, Doreen. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked with Kat, but that's okay. Okay, Doreen. So, Doreen, are you willing to let go of trying to fit in? Are you willing to let go of having to make it look good? Or are you willing to let go of... Let me tell you why I'm telling you this. So this is the defeat card, but I'm not seeing the word DEFEAT. I'm seeing DA, duh, feet, FEET. Okay? And as you know, they used to bind women's feet because they felt it made them look pretty. And it was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. So this is not binding your feet. You know what? On your show, it's okay to drop a bowl full of flour. It's okay to appear real. It's okay to be who you are. It will make it more real for people who really do drop bowls of flour or burn their food accidentally, right? These are things that happen. It's one of the things that made Julia Child so endearing, right? She was just very, very real. And that's you. Be free. Are you willing to be free of the need to look good, sound good, be good? Okay, there's a difference in being good, sounding good, and the need to be good and sound good. Because you are good, so be free of the need to do that. And that will make it even more appealing what it is that you're doing with your being a chef. Okay.
Brilliant. So next is Todd Todd at least.
Okay, Todd. Thanks for being here, man. Well, Todd, since we talked about Kat, we're going to get in some deep things here. This is called the death card. It's never about the actual death, but it is about your gifts. And fortunately, you do not work in a hospital like Kat. I'm not saying that's unfortunate, Kat. I didn't mean that. But I'm saying, for you, so the universe is divine. We are directed and guided to where we need to be at a certain time. So, Kat, you working in the hospital is to show you some of your gifts. Okay? Todd, since he was little, has had this gift very similar to mine of seeing dead people or experiencing that. And Todd, I'm going to share the experience with the group, okay? When you were 5 or 6 years old, you were in the back seat of your parents' car and they were driving down the street. And you can correct me in the chat if I'm telling this wrong. But you looked over and you saw, and you said to your mom and dad, "Mom, a little boy died there on his bicycle." Well, your dad, as you tell the story, at least you told to me, your dad went to the library when they used to have that. It was before computers. But he looked it up, and sure enough, many years before, a little child had been killed on a bicycle that lived in that house that you were driving by. My point of telling you this is your perception. So when we started talking about the show tonight and this emerald tablet, and we started talking about your awareness growing and you moving from Watson to Holmes, and sometimes we go back and forth between those two people. Sometimes we're Sherlock Holmes and we're really good at our awareness. Sometimes we're Watson, okay? Sometimes we're not so good, but this awareness is growing with you. And so look at the reason why that is. And we'll talk on the phone, I'm sure, over this. But your senses, beyond the 5 senses, as Kenan was talking about, you're becoming more aware of an expanding part of the universe that you used to be aware of as a child, but you're becoming more aware of now. Okay.
Awesome. So Aubrey's here too.
Aubrey. Okay, thanks, Aubrey. So, and Aubrey's perfect, and Aubrey, you're perfect when it comes to helping Todd with this, because you're not one to tell Todd he's crazy for what he's seeing or feeling, because last month you both experienced it, right? So it's perfect. Anyway, new beginnings, Aubrey. I see, moving down here, this looks like Sedona to me. This looks like, if you look at this card, it's called the Fool. It's called New Beginnings, and new beginnings are great. Are you willing to let go of the old, or let go of? Are you open to all possibilities of how it can work out, not just any narrow view or fears about moving and what might or might not happen? Because this is new beginnings. You've got the angels with you. Trust this guidance. You're being guided. This is the rainbow card. It is, everything's working out for you. Oh. So I'm seeing a reservoir here. So we all go through periods of drought in our life. Just like, what's happening with Lake Mead here, Lake Powell in Arizona, Lake Mead up by Las Vegas, where reservoirs have been going down and down and down. But there's also, they're beginning to fill back up with the rain, with the snow, with the weather. So are you willing to let go of any perceived hard times or difficulties and go, wait a minute, how can this work out? Because the rains will come, the snow will come, the reservoir will fill, and it's being more and more fulfilled. And Aubrey, you deserve it. And who on the show doesn't deserve that? Everyone deserves that fulfillment. Okay? So, for everyone, the reservoir is filling. Okay? There is this happiness, there is this joy coming in. Trust that. Okay? Trust the nature. All right.
So next is Barb, Matt, and Duncan.
Barb. Success. That's the way you spell success. This is so in the Bible, they talk about the Holy Spirit coming down in the form of a dove. Because the dove symbolized peace. This is absolute success for what it is, who you are, what it is that you do, and how you do it. So everyone on the show, we have I'm so thrilled. Barb is Barb from my book. Yeah, this is the Barb from my book. Whoop, there we go. Things the Dead Fear. And Matthew is here on the show as well. He's one of the top AI specialists in the world, but also very enlightened individual. So thank you all for being here. And Duncan, neuroscientist, right? Dr. Duncan, he's here. So thank you all for being here. I know you're blasting everybody right now with amazing energy. So that's really special. But this success card is in the spring, there is huge success moving upward and outward. I see that with the flowers here, with the tulips. They're some of the first flowers of spring. Or crocuses, something with crocuses. I'll have to look that up and I'll call you. But absolutely, this is about lighting the basket. You don't put your light under a basket. This is setting the basket on fire to light people's way. This is about, okay, you know how when you have these ceremonies and everybody has a candle, and then you light the candle and you light the candle and you light the candle, everybody lights each other's candles. This is lighting other people's baskets. This isn't just, it's illuminating the way, not just lighting the way. It's like illuminating the way. I'm excited. Okay, Matthew. You know, Matthew, I pulled the Emerald Tablet for you. I mean, Kenan actually pulled. I said, Kenan, can you pick a group card tonight? And that group card, Matthew, I'll show you this if you didn't watch it from the very beginning, was the Emerald Tablet. It's the cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, consciousness manifesting. So I had to show you that, but I'll pull a card for you anyway. Okay. So thank you. We didn't at that time. We didn't even know you were going to be on the show. So thank you so much. Victory, Victory. Okay, so I guess I'm both of your biggest I'm your biggest cheerleader for both of you, because I did a cheerleading chant for both of these, success and victory. Swords are about thoughts. And I'm hearing about cleaning your sword. Just like, you know, when people are hunters and they clean their gun, this is about cleaning your sword. Because you're extremely smart and it's polishing the sword. And holding that sword over your head, just like you would in Braveheart, Mel Gibson holding the sword above his head so that others can see it. This is the victory card, and you've got the success card, which is huge. What's interesting about this is be very careful who you speak with about this right now. It's like in the baby stages. You don't take a brand new baby to Coachella, to a rave. you guard the baby, you protect it, you kind of keep it at home, but this will prevent any. Look at the energies of people that may want to ride on your coattails, thwart you. It's not that it will stop you, but if somebody is stepping on your coattails, it's going to make you look funny when you walk. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're constantly trying to step on your coattails, and so we'll take that off the docket there, and with all of us, if we're having a plan, keep it centered, keep it low, and then it will begin to grow. Protect it like a baby, okay? Especially in the very beginning. But this is going to grow because you've got the victory card, and this is going around the world. This is 6 continents. I know there's 7 continents, but within 5 years, it'll be within 6 continents. Okay. Okay, Dr. Duncan. So Duncan, you make a cake, and you go to a lot of work making the cake. You put it in the oven, and 10 minutes later you take it out. No, this is called the Hanged Man. It's the card about uniqueness. What you're moving into is a very unique period. So, in one of the seminars that your mom taught years ago, she talked about vitamin C. And the discoverer of vitamin C discovered it back in the 50s, but it actually didn't become popular till the 70s. It took a while for that uniqueness, that unique discovery to spread. And I'm not saying it's going to take you 20 years, but wait for it. Be patient. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's working out fast enough, or the right person isn't coming along, or the right events aren't coming along. This is the Hanged Man. It's coming. Just be patient. The cake has to cook for at least 50 minutes, not 10. Okay? But this is things working out for you. Big bada boom time. Yeah. So I pulled a second card for you, Duncan, because this is the power card, and this is actually for you and because you're all together with your mom and Matthew. This is power from source. I mean, you look at this card. This is power from source. This includes you, but it's way bigger than you. You're part of something much, much bigger. We all are. So bless you all for being here. Who's next?
Awesome. Yeah, we've got John next. Yeah,
Okay.
start.
Starklink. Hey, John.
Since you're on fire tonight too, by the way.
Thanks, Barb. All right. So, John, it's called the fairness card. Okay, sometimes you do have to take your ball and go home. It's okay to do that. But if you want to keep playing, you have to put up with the whiners and the criers and the complainers and the backtalkers, backstabbers. You decide if you want to keep playing and be free of getting sucked into, because you have the ball. You have the ball. You can continue to play with him or go find some other people to play with. I don't know what that means. Somehow it means something, but this is the fairness card where be free of being with people that think life isn't fair, or that they've been treated unfairly. It's not about fairness or unfairness. It's about choice. Okay, who's on?
Yeah, for sure. So next, there's a new person called Harrison Sherry.
Oh, Sherry. That's Tony's brother, sister.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Sherry. Awesome. Sherry, my dear, are you willing to let go of overthinking? You're smart. Are you willing to let go of the need of solving everyone's problems? You're there as a guide. Your children have to go through their own lessons. And you can share your wisdom with them, but at the same time, they make their own choices and they have to live with the consequences. And it has nothing to do with you being a good mother, good person, bad person, and be willing to let go of the need for people to listen to your counsel, because that can be so, oh my God, it can be just so draining, where people aren't listening to you. They're wanting to go and make these horrible mistakes, make these horrible whatever. Maybe that's what they need to learn. So be free of the need of having people listen to you. It's okay to have people listen to you, but again, there's a difference between the need to have people listen to you, because then in them not hearing you or wanting to hear you, you can beat up on yourself. And can you let go of that? Flush that one. Okay.
Excellent. So next we've got Adriana, who's Abby's granddaughter.
Adriana, you're Abby's granddaughter. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. So Adriana, this is called the Father of Swords. this is a father, grandfather figure coming through for you from the other side. Um, Here's the thing, Adriana. I believe people sometimes are doing the best that they can do with what they have. Trust yourself that you're doing the best that you can do with what you know and who you are and what you have. And it's going to get better. You're moving into a period of leadership of your own life. Okay? Taking control of your own life and forgiving people and understanding that maybe they were doing the best that they could do when they were doing it. And that they weren't maybe dealing, they didn't come from a nature, nurture, beautiful, high education. And so are you willing to forgive them? Forgive, especially this is the father, the grandfather, that side of your family, about coming into a little understanding and forgiving them, because in holding that energy of anger or regret or anything with that can affect us physically. So, and it can affect us emotionally and mentally. Are you willing to let go of that now? And just trust that, okay, and this is my teacher, Barb. She told me, she goes, people either get it now or they'll get it later. And what she means by that is people either get it now in this lifetime or maybe they'll get it in another lifetime. Or you can get it now, this second, or you can get it later, tomorrow. It's better to get it now, okay? And this is letting go of any of that anger that can be, or frustration or sadness or grief that can be, and letting it go. Are you willing to do that? Sending you lots of good juju, lots of good love
Awesome.
to help you do that.
So that's everybody, unless you want to pull a card for Communicore.
Communicore. Okay. So you is kind and you is smart and you is important. Trust highly intelligent, very, very intelligent Shelley. But if you have a little dog and you're afraid to expose the dog to the outside, to the elements, to the Gerardia that might be out there, to what they might be sniffing and what could they pick up or what the fleas could jump on them, then the dog is going to poop and pee in the house and never grow. This is you it's safe. Are you willing to accept that it's safe and okay for you to be vulnerable? It's safe and okay for you to be vulnerable. I easily and comfortably, I appropriately show my vulnerability. Because that dog is like the emotions where that dog needs to go outside. Your emotions need to go outside. Yeah, you can be hurt, but the world isn't out to hurt you. Okay? And dogs develop that immune system, and you give them a bath and get rid of the fleas. Okay. Do we have everybody?
That's everybody.
All right, everybody. Let's do this again Sunday night. I love you all dearly. ChristopherLapratte.com is my website, and we will do this again. Have a blessed week.